Alright, this is Jeff with PlatinumMorphs again. I had a couple of replies that requested for me to do another video to kind of go into detail a little more about these racks that I do. So I figured I'd kind of get a little more detailed in it. So the racks that I get, you can get them at Target and you can get them at Walmart. I think this is a good example of one, like the box that it comes in. I can get a decent picture on here so you guys can all see this. I think I got this one at Walmart, and this one's ideal for these bigger tubs. For these ones, for the bigger girls, these tubs seem to fit in there better because they're not as deep as the other ones. These black ones here that I have, these middle three are all 18 inches deep. This silver one right here is 16 inches deep, and then that one over there I believe is 12 or 14, somewhere in that range. But that one works good for these little ones. It doesn't cover all the way like these other ones, so you can see like that back edge is kind of sticking like in a little bit, so it doesn't necessarily keep them from, you know, being able to pop off. But as long as you clip these on here good enough, they have little latches on these lids, and the little guys aren't powerful enough to pop the lid off like the bigger ones are. That's what's great about like these ones, is it covers it on this end and it also covers it on the back end as well. So there's no way that a snake's gonna get out of that. And these ones work pretty good. I'm kind of in the midst of figuring out how to make these a little better. There's still, like, you can see like there's a little bit of gap here, but I mean, my snakes, even if they push up right there, they really can't get out of that crack. So it works pretty well. But as you can see, like on these racks, they all have notches on here, and they have these little plastic clips in here that lock the shelves into place. So you can move them up and down and adjust them as many times as you want to custom to whatever size you want. Fortunately, like with a lot of these, the gaps work perfectly. I mean, some of these are in there kind of tight, but not too tight. Like you can get them in and out pretty good. And all these tubs I get at Target. And I mean, it probably depends where you're at, but I mean, they're these guys right here. Here's like the smallest one. That's a 6 quart. You can see they're designed for shoes, but man, they work great for snakes. And one thing you want to make sure you do is drill holes in these guys so they have air. And that's one of the biggest pains about doing it, but it's really not too bad. It doesn't take too long to do. I just don't give away my tubs when I'm selling snakes and stuff, so I don't have to keep drilling holes in my tubs all the time. But yeah, that's a 6 quart, and those are like $1 a piece. And then the next size up is a 28 quart. And all these are from Sterilite. So that's a 28 quart right there, and those are these ones right here. To do a reference on these middle 3 racks, and then like that littler one is these guys for the littler ones. And I got lots of reserves. I think somebody commented on my page like, where do you put all the snakes? Well, those are all my extra tubs, and I filled this whole rack up. It's pretty empty right now because I've sold a lot of stuff, but it's gonna fill up here pretty soon because I got like 4 clutches and an incubator. Now this bigger one over here with these bigger tubs, I don't think I have any of the stickers like on these left on any of them, but whatever the next size up is, that's what it is. Those work great for that setup. The only thing you got to think of when you're doing these is to get the appropriate dimensions for it. They also make wider racks than these. Like this one, you see that's a custom one that I found that just ended up working out perfectly. This is not the same kind of brand as these other ones are. But this one, you can see this is the same kind of setup, and this is a 4-foot long rack. And it works good for these bigger tanks, but I'm going to do that for those. So that's it. I mean, there's another. This is the company that I use from Walmart to get these, and I don't think I spent more than $50 or $60 on this rack. But the thing is that you also got to consider when you're making these is all of these are going to take 2 of these racks. And I think These smaller ones, like this one, which is the 12-inch deep one, and that's the 16-inch deep one. Those are like $40 a piece, but you got to buy two. But when you do all that and you get all the tubs, which are $5 a piece, you're only up to like $160 or so. The next most expensive thing that you need to buy is this stuff. This is the heat cable that I was talking about. The stuff that they falsely advertise as far as like chameleons being able to walk on the heat cable. I've never really found another good way to use this besides doing it on these racks. So what I do is they have different sizes, 39 foot. All the ones that I run on these though are 52 foot, 150 watt. And what you do is you basically just string it in there. I'm going to see if I can get close enough to give you a good look at these, but I string them in there like that, and I go all the way down. And you just need to put a couple zip ties in there and go like that and bring it back. And that is plenty enough heat for these guys. And you know, like some of these ones for like the breeding racks, I'll put like a little either like a rheostat or just like a cheap like dimmer. And I think I got this thing for like $7 or $8, and you can just adjust it back and forth. And if it gets too warm, you can turn it down very easy. And I mostly do that for like the breeder ones because I don't want it to get too warm. But a lot of these other ones, I just plug it straight in, and it does a good job. It doesn't get too warm. You get your optimal temperatures. So I mean, that's about it. I can't really think of off the top of my head anything else to really go in it on it about. I mean, I can go with different styles as far as how I run the heat cable. Like these smaller ones, I only do one row. I don't know if you can really see it there. There it goes this way, and then it goes down over to the next one here. Comes all the way down. Just put a couple zip ties on there, and then run it back down. You just do that all the way down. And this one, it's amazing how well it works out because it goes all the way to the bottom, and you only miss out on one spot right here. You can see where it ends, and you could fit one more tub here, but it really doesn't matter. So a lot of times if I got to soak one or something, or I don't want heat on it, I just put one right there. So it works out well. And it's the same with these bigger ones. It comes a little shy on the top, but you can almost still keep snakes in the top of these because the heat will rise in a room and it'll be warmer on the top. And you know, certain snakes you have will prefer cooler or warmer temperatures, so you can move stuff up and down. It gives you the flexibility of being able to do that. This one that I did with the 52-inch or foot heat cable worked out really well. It went all the way to the top like perfectly, even with like another inch to spare. So that worked out really well. But yeah, that's about it. There is another company, I think, at Target that does these. But it's just like two different companies, and they're very cheap. And they work really well. I think like the biggest downside that I have to these is the lids. You know, in a typical rack system, you would be able to just pull it out and there wouldn't be a lid on there, but it really, once you get used to it, it doesn't even bother you at all. I mean, you're talking, once you build a whole rack compared to what you can buy online professional-wise, is going to cost you upwards of like $1,000, and you can do the whole thing for right around $200 if you do it this way. Save yourself some money, and it works very well. So that's that, and I figured really quick that last clutch that I had shedded, so I'm going to just show them off here real quick, and then I'm going to end the video here real quick. I know it's already been really long. But these are the lesser cinnamon blonde pastels that I hatched out. You can tell the blue lids that I was taking off. Those are the boys, and these are the girls. I got lucky enough to get 2.2 on these. I don't know what the odds of me actually getting this were, but it's pretty awesome. I'm glad to have them. It was from a lesser cinnamon to a blonde pastel pairing. That's a little girl right there. And you can see they just glow. I've already eaten a couple times. There's another girl. I think I'm definitely going to be holding on to both of these, just for future breeding projects. I just think they're going to come in handy so well having that triple coat on. And here's one of the boys. That one came out really cool. I think that might be the one boy that I end up hanging on to. And here's the last boy, which is, I think, is the one that I'm going to sell. But he's still really, really cool. Like, I almost, like, half-heartedly want to hold on to both of them just to have two to breed out if I need. But, oh man, they just came out smoking. And you can see, you know, I'll grab the lesser cinnamon male that I produced as well, just so you have a comparison. And it's just amazing how much brighter they are. He's a little nippy too, he's funny. But, I mean, just look at this guy next to that. And the lesser cinnamon is already a really cool morph in my opinion. I just love how the pattern just like almost chain links together along the side, and then they have really bright bottoms. As far as just having like high white, it's really cool. But yeah, I think this video has already been long enough, so I'm going to leave it at that. This is Jeff with PlatinumMorphs.